Welcome to Hot Soup Stories. Madison Cole had 3 strict rules in life. Don't date at work. Don't let men waste your time. And most importantly, never, ever, ever let your bills pile up. And working as the executive secretary to Ethan Hale, the cold, stunningly handsome, billionaire CEO of Hale Enterprises, paid her bills very, very well. Every morning, Madison walked into the glass tower in Manhattan with a coffee in one hand, confidence in the other, and absolutely no tolerance for nonsense. People in the office whispered that she was the only one who could control Mr. Hale. They were wrong. She didn't control him. She managed him, and occasionally roasted him to keep him humble. "Good morning, Mr. Hale," she said one Monday, placing his coffee on his desk. "Your schedule is packed, your fans are annoying, and I already regret coming to work." Ethan barely glanced up. "Good morning to you too, sunshine." He never smiled at anyone. Except her. She was good at her job, organized, sharp, reliable, and Ethan depended on her more than he'd ever admit. But Madison never crossed the line. She couldn't afford to. Feelings were expensive. Rent was already high. The armoire that shook Manhattan. The Hale building was buzzing one morning when Madison walked in. People were whispering like pigeons in mating season. "Did you hear? Is it true? I saw the news. Ethan Hale might be getting married." Madison stopped so suddenly her heels screeched. "What?" she said. "Married to who? His computer, because that's the only thing he loves." "Rumor says it's a socialite," said Kevin from accounting. "Blonde, perfect teeth, zero personality." "Oh, his type," Madison said. She pretended she didn't care. She pretended it didn't pinch her heart. She pretended she didn't immediately feel replaced. Because who was she? Just the secretary. The girl with the clipboard. The one who scheduled his dental appointments and prevented him from committing homicide during board meetings. She shook it off. Bills first, feelings never. But still, when she walked into Ethan's office, her voice was colder than he usually was. "Your schedule for today," she said, placing it on his desk like she was slapping down divorce papers. Ethan looked up at her, really looked. "You're upset." "I'm not upset," she said, absolutely upset. "You are," he said, amused. "Your eyebrows are fighting each other." "Sir, with all due respect, my eyebrows pay rent on their own. They can fight if they want." Ethan leaned back. "Is this about the rumor?" "No," she lied. He smirked. "It's ridiculous." "Of course," she said. "Totally ridiculous." "Because why would a billionaire marry someone who was her?" "Madison," he said slowly, "if I were getting married, don't you think you'd be the first person to know?" "Yes," she said, "because I'd be the one scheduling the wedding venue." He actually chuckled. 2 days later, she walked into Ethan's private office to deliver reports and froze. Because sitting in Ethan's chair, with perfect blonde curls and perfect expensive perfume, was Sabrina Sloan, the childhood friend, heiress, and the woman in the marriage rumor. "Oh," Madison said, "new furniture, didn't know we were redecorating." Sabrina tilted her head. "You must be the famous secretary." Madison smiled the fakest corporate smile in existence. "Yes, and you must be the rumor." Ethan coughed, hiding a smile and failing miserably. Sabrina, unamused, placed her hand on Ethan's arm. "We were just discussing the gala this weekend." Madison didn't flinch. Nope, not her, she didn't have feelings, she had bills. "Oh good," she said sweetly. "Mr. Hale needs someone to remind him not to stand in a corner like a decorative statue." Sabrina glared. Ethan actually laughed. But Madison didn't. Because Sabrina stood too close. Smiled too wide. Talked like she already belonged in his world. And worst of all, Ethan didn't push her away. That night, Madison went home to her tiny apartment, microwaved leftover pasta, and told herself this was her life. She was a secretary. He was her boss. They weren't meant to be. She watched videos until 2 a.m., trying not to think about Ethan Hale attending a gala with someone else. Her heart hurt, but her alarms had no mercy. Work waited. The next evening, Madison went as Ethan's staff support. She wore a sleek black dress. Not glamorous. Not sparkly. Just professional. But Ethan's eyes widened when he saw her. "You look available for work," she cut in. "Let's go." Sabrina arrived in a stunning gown, clinging to Ethan like a vine with generational wealth issues. Reporters swarmed. "Mr. Hale, are you two engaged? Is this your fiancé?" Madison froze. Ethan looked irritated, but didn't speak. And Sabrina smiled like victory. Madison excused herself and walked to the balcony, swallowing heartbreak like it was cheap vodka. She didn't cry. She just exhaled the pain. But Ethan followed her. "Madison, you should go," she said. "People are taking pictures." "Let them," he said. She faced him. "Ethan, you're my boss if you're getting married." "I'm not," he said sharply. "So you and Sabrina are not." "No, she's just using the press. My mother wants me to settle down, that's all." "Oh," Madison looked away. "Well, good for you." "Madison," his voice softened. "Why do you care so much?" "Because I like you, you idiot." "I don't," she lied. He stepped closer. Close enough that she could smell his cologne. Close enough that the night around them froze. "Madison," he said, "you're the only woman I think about." Her heart dropped into her stomach. But she stayed silent. Because he was her boss. And she didn't want a heartbreak she couldn't quit from. The next morning, she came in with a forced smile. And then she froze. Sabrina was sitting on her desk. Her desk. "Good morning," Sabrina said sweetly. "I'm shadowing Ethan today, family request." Madison felt something sharp twist inside her. "That's cute," she said, "like a puppy trying to do taxes." Sabrina narrowed her eyes. She stayed there all day, following Ethan, touching his arm, laughing too loudly, acting like Madison didn't exist. At noon, Ethan noticed Madison unusually quiet. "You okay?" he asked. "Perfect," she said and stormed out. Madison never cried at work. But that day, she stood in the women's restroom and let silent tears fall. Because she'd been strong for so long. Because she'd convinced herself she didn't love him. Because Ethan Hale had become the one thing she couldn't manage. Her heart. Ethan found her before she could escape the building. "Madison," he said, breathless, "talk to me." "There's nothing to talk about," she said. "Stop lying." She looked at him, really looked. At the man she admired. The man she wanted. The man she could never have. "It doesn't matter," she whispered. "You're my boss." "I don't want to be your boss," he said, voice cracking. "I want to be the man you come home to." Her breath hitched. He stepped closer. "Sabrina means nothing to me," he said. You drive me insane. You challenge me. You roast me. You make my life brighter than I ever deserved." "Ethan." "Madison, I care about you. More than I should. More than I've ever cared about anyone." She laughed through her tears. "You're terrible at confessions. And you're terrible at avoiding me." He gently took her hand. "Don't walk away," he whispered. She didn't. The rumor died the next week. Sabrina left in dramatic fashion. She tried to flip her hair but hit a security guard instead. Ethan stopped being cold. He became warm. Protective. Soft only for Madison. They kept it private until Ethan called a staff meeting and declared, "For transparency, Madison is no longer my secretary. She will be my executive director." Pause. "And my girlfriend." The entire office gasped. Kevin from accounting dropped his coffee. Madison wanted to sink into the floor. But Ethan pulled her close. "This," he said, "is the best decision I've ever made." And for the first time in her life, Madison let someone in. She still roasted him, still kept him disciplined, still made him earn her time. But she also loved him. And he loved her more. Their story wasn't perfect. It was chaotic, dramatic, a roller coaster of rumors, jealousy, sarcasm, and unexpected feelings. But in the end, it was exactly right. A billionaire CEO finally met his match. And a secretary finally found a love worth breaking her rules for. Madison Cole was officially Ethan Hale's girlfriend, which sounded romantic, until she realized the entire Hale Enterprises building suddenly treated her like she was the missing Kardashian. People stared. People whispered. People Googled her LinkedIn like FBI agents. And Madison, she just wanted to drink her iced coffee in peace. The moment Ethan promoted her to executive director, HR nearly fainted. Legal sent a 23-page policy on office relationships. Finance congratulated her like she won a lottery. Kevin from accounting kept asking, "So, do we get a company holiday when you two have a baby?" She threatened to staple his mouth shut. But the worst part, Ethan was different. Soft. Gentle. Smiley. Smiley. As in, the cold CEO who once looked like he charged rent for emotions, now smiled whenever he saw her. Embarrassing. One morning, she walked into his office with files, and before she could say anything, Ethan looked at her like she hung the moon. "Hi," he said softly. She blinked. "Sir." "Ethan," he corrected. "Call me Ethan." She narrowed her eyes. "At work." "At Mars, at the moon, at Starbucks. Yes, at work." She rolled her eyes. He adored it. She put files on his desk. "Your 10 a.m. moved to 11. Your 12 p.m. moved to Zoom. Your attitude moved to annoying." Ethan smirked. "Your sarcasm is my love language." Madison froze. He may as well have slapped her with a bouquet of roses. "Stop flirting," she muttered. "I'm literally your boyfriend." "Still inappropriate," she said, cheeks red. By week 2, she discovered something horrifying. The staff had a betting pool. A full-blown, spreadsheet-formatted, color-coded pool. How long till they get engaged? Who said "I love you" first? Will Madison roast him during the wedding vows? When she confronted the staff, they stared guiltily. One intern whispered, "We're rooting for you." Another added, "Honestly, ma'am, your love story is the only entertainment we have. Please don't break up." Madison sighed. She was becoming a reality show. Even though Ethan had made things clear with Sabrina Sloan, Sabrina wasn't done being dramatic. One afternoon, Madison entered Ethan's office and froze. Sabrina was standing too close again. Same perfume. Same fake smile. Same "I'm richer than the US GDP" energy. "Madison," Sabrina said sweetly, "we were just discussing a charity partnership." Madison nodded. "Wonderful, you donated your heart yet, because you clearly don't use it." Ethan choked. Sabrina lifted her chin. "Ethan and I go way back." "Sure," Madison said, "but only I go forward with him." Ethan coughed harder, turning red. Sabrina's smile cracked. So this is what he fell for. Madison crossed her arms. "If you mean personality, charm, and emotional maturity, yeah." Ethan finally intervened. "All right, that's enough. Sabrina, the meeting is over." Sabrina's eyes flashed, jealous, angry, and she stalked out like a disgruntled flamingo. Madison turned to Ethan. "Why was she here again?" "She cornered me in the elevator," he said. "Claimed she wanted to rebuild childhood friendship." Madison snorted. "Yeah, right. More like rebuild her chances at getting your money." Ethan stepped close. "Are you jealous?" She hesitated. "Yes," she admitted. "Very." He didn't laugh. He didn't tease. He just pulled her into a slow, warm hug. You don't have to be, he murmured. I choose you every day. Her heart melted like ice cream in Arizona's. Madison had roasted half of Manhattan at some point in her life, but one person she hoped to never see again. Her ex, Ben Parker. The man who ghosted her. The man who said she was too opinionated. The man who ended things over a text, wrongly auto-corrected. He showed up at a corporate conference where Hale Enterprises had a booth. Madison, he said dramatically, wow, you look expensive. Thanks, she said. Your haircut doesn't. Ethan walked up behind her. Ben looked at Ethan. Then at Madison. Then back at Ethan. Is this your boss? Boyfriend, Ethan said calmly. The one who didn't ghost her. Ben's soul left his body. Madison smirked. Well, Ben, she said cheerfully, I hope your emotional maturity improved since you last dated me. Ben opened his mouth, but Ethan put an arm around Madison's waist. Have a great day, Ethan said politely in that tone that meant I could buy your entire future and delete it. Madison dragged Ethan away before Ben combusted from embarrassment. They were perfect. Until they were. The fight began over something stupid. Madison working late. Ethan worrying. Madison pushing him away. Ethan becoming overprotective. You can't keep staying past midnight, Ethan snapped. It's not safe. Madison crossed her arms. I can handle myself. That's not the point. It is the point, she said, angry. You don't get to control me. I'm not controlling you, he said, frustrated. I'm worried. I've been independent my whole life, she said, voice shaking. I don't know how to need someone. I don't know how to depend on someone. Ethan's anger faded instantly. Madison, he whispered. She looked away. Tears forming. I'm scared, she said, because this is the first time I feel like I could lose something that matters. Ethan walked toward her slowly, like she was something fragile. You won't lose me, he said softly, but you can talk to me, you can lean on me. She closed her eyes. I'm trying, she whispered. He cupped her face gently. And I'll wait, he said, for as long as it takes. The fight ended with a hug. A long one. The kind that fixes broken things without words. 2 weeks later, Ethan blindfolded her and drove her somewhere. Is this safe? She muttered. Do I need a will? He laughed. Trust me. When he removed the blindfold. Madison gasped. They were standing in front of a small office space with glass doors. Inside was a studio-style layout. Painted walls. New desks. A signboard at the back that said, Cole Creative Consulting, CEO, Madison Cole. Her jaw dropped. I bought this for you, Ethan said. Your dream, your business, your future. Madison was speechless. You always take care of everyone, he said. Let me take care of you too. I want you to have something that's yours. Her eyes filled. I don't know what to say. Say you'll let me support you, he said softly. She threw her arms around him. You're unbelievable, she whispered, and I love you. He froze. Then smiled, soft, warm, overflowing. I love you too. Their story wasn't slowing down. It was just beginning. New company. New chapter. New chaos incoming. Madison still roasted him daily. Ethan still adored her endlessly. The office still placed bets. Sabrina still hated her life. And Madison Cole. She was finally living a life she never thought she'd have. Loved. Respected. Happier than she ever imagined. Madison Cole thought life had finally stabilized. New title. New boyfriend. New business Ethan set up for her. New office staff who acted like she was the queen of Manhattan. But if life had taught her anything, peace never lasted. Especially when your boyfriend was a billionaire and your personality was 90% sarcasm. One Monday morning, Ethan barged into her apartment at 7 a.m., panic written all over his usually perfect face. "Madison, don't freak out." She instantly freaked out. "What did you do? Did you burn the company? Did you fire yourself? Tell me." Ethan pulled out his phone. A headline glared back at her. Eta Chan Hale's secret girlfriend Revaled, ex-secretary of The CEO. Is this a scandal or a power game? Madison stared. Why is my face everywhere? Why am I on a gossip site? Why does this picture look like I just stole someone? Wi-Fi. Ethan sighed. It leaked. Someone recognized us at dinner last night. Madison groaned. I knew that waiter stared at us too long. Next time we're eating underground. Ethan sat beside her. Softly. Calmly. Are you okay? No, she said honestly. I look like a potato in that picture. You look beautiful, he said softly. Liar. Fine, he said. You look like a very cute potato. She smacked him with a pillow. By noon, Madison's inbox was exploding. Some messages were supportive. Others were, well, did you seduce him? Did you blackmail him? Did he promote you because of this? She slammed her laptop shut. People need hobbies, she muttered. Ethan entered her office at Hale Enterprises to check on her. You don't have to be here, he said gently. You can take the day off. Madison crossed her arms. Oh, so now people think I seduced you for a promotion. If I take the day off, it looks like I'm guilty. Ethan exhaled. I hate that this is happening to you. We'll deal with it, she said. Together. Together, he repeated, pulling her into a hug. The Hale Enterprises board members were sharks in suits. They loved money. They loved scandals, for entertainment only. But they hated unpredictability. Ethan walked into the meeting, holding Madison's hand. Half the board members fainted internally. One whispered, Is he smiling, dear God? They sat. A senior board member cleared his throat. We need to address the relationship issue. Madison raised a brow. Issue or jealousy? Ethan nearly choked. The board member blinked. Well, the tabloids. Our tabloids, Madison said. They also claim aliens run Starbucks. Did you believe that too? Another member coughed. We only care about conflict of interest. Madison nodded. Fair, I understand. Ethan no longer handles my promotions or department. And who will? Someone asked. Me, she smirked. I handle myself. Ethan stared at her like she hung the stars. The board, surprisingly, agreed. Because Madison. She was terrifyingly competent. And mildly scary. Which they respected. The press died down. The gossip faded. Life returned to almost normal. Until the arrival of Damien Cade. Millionaire. Tech CEO. Charm turned up to 100. The Silicon Valley Casanova, as Forbes called him. And worst of all, he wanted Madison's consulting firm for his new project. He walked into her new office with a smile so smug, Madison wanted to unplug him. Ms. Cole, Damien said, I hear you're the best. Madison stood. Flattery won't get you a discount, or my number. Damien grinned. I love her. Her assistant whispered, I ship it. Madison glared. You're fired. Ethan heard about Damien within 30 minutes. He showed up at her building, like a jealous Greek god. Who is Damien Cade? Ethan said flatly. And why is he breathing near you? Madison blinked. He wants to hire my consulting firm. I don't like him. You don't like anyone. He paused. Fair. Damien suddenly appeared at the door. Oh, Ethan Hale, Damien smirked. Didn't expect to see you. I assumed you'd be too busy being the poster boy of Cold CEOs Monthly. Madison put a hand over her mouth. Ethan's jaw flexed. Damien winked at her. So, Madison, about our dinner meeting. Ethan snapped. Dinner. Madison sighed. Relax, it's business. Damien grinned. Business with candles. You're banned, Ethan said. Madison, fire him. I can't fire a potential client, she said. He's a billionaire. Ethan glared. I'm a billionaire. Damien clapped. Yes, fight for her, entertain me. Madison dragged them apart. Both of you need therapy. To keep boundaries professional, Madison insisted on a public restaurant. Damien behaved surprisingly well. Until he didn't. He leaned in. Close. Too close. Madison, he said softly, you deserve someone who sees your brilliance before your usefulness. Madison paused. Before she could respond, cameras flashed. Paparazzi. Dozens of them. Madison froze. Damien looked annoyed. And then, Ethan arrived. He didn't walk. He stormed. In a suit. With fury. With jealousy levels at 9,000. He pulled Madison gently, but firmly to his side. She gasped, Ethan. Reporters shouted questions. Is Madison cheating? Are you two still together? Is Damien a new boyfriend? Madison's chest tightened. This was her worst nightmare. The world assuming the worst. Her reputation trashed. Ethan looking betrayed. Not again, not now. She grabbed Ethan's face, right there in front of everyone, and kissed him. Deep. Long. Undeniable. Every camera exploded in light. Damien sat back and clapped slowly. Well, that settles that. But later that night, Ethan wasn't angry. He was hurt. Madison, he said softly, I trust you, I always will, but I don't trust how the world treats you. This isn't fair. She sat beside him. Quiet. Tired. I didn't do anything wrong, she whispered. I know, he said, but they'll still twist it. She exhaled. Then let them. I'm done shaping my life around people who don't even know me. Ethan looked at her like she was the strongest woman he'd ever known. You're incredible, he whispered. Madison leaned on him. I learned from the best, she murmured. A week later, Damien sent her a message. You're the only person who told me no without crying. I respect it. The contract is yours. Madison did a victory dance in her office. Ethan walked in, saw her dancing, and almost died of happiness. You look adorable. Shut up. He lifted her chin. Marry me. She froze. What? He swallowed. I've wanted to ask for weeks, but I wanted you to feel strong, stable, respected before I asked. Madison blinked. Heart racing. This is sudden, she whispered. Ethan exhaled. It won't change anything about your independence, but I want you in my life permanently. I want to protect you, love you, laugh at your bad roasts. Hey. And be your home. She stared at him. Then, ask me again, she whispered. Ethan knelt. Her breath caught. Madison Cole, he said softly, will you marry me? She smiled. Bright. Real. Uncontrollable. Yes, she whispered. Of course I will. He pulled her into his arms. His voice shook. You're my forever. And you're my chaos, she said. Perfect match. Madison Cole was now officially fiancé of Ethan Hale. Target of all jealous women in New York. Public enemy, one for gossip blogs. The reason Damien Cade smirked a little too often. But more importantly, she had a ring on her finger. A shiny, beautiful, unnecessarily expensive ring Ethan chose after texting her assistant 47 times with pictures like, is this romantic or too sparkly? Is this too small? Would she roast me if I pick this one? Spoiler, yes, she roasted him anyway. Ethan's PR team suggested a small private announcement. But Ethan He walked into the office, grabbed Madison's hand, pulled her close, and said, "Everyone, this is my fiancée. Her roast level remains the same. Please congratulate her for tolerating me." The entire building erupted. Kevin from accounting cried. Someone fainted. The intern started a group chant. "Hail and Cole, hail and Cole." Madison covered her face. "This is embarrassing." Ethan kissed her cheek. "That's marriage, sweetheart." Ethan's family wanted a grand wedding. Madison wanted a wedding with snacks. So naturally, chaos erupted. 1. Ethan's mother wanted a royal theme. "My son deserves a majestic ceremony." 2. Madison wanted a theme called, "Let's not spend NASA's yearly budget." 3. Ethan wanted whatever made Madison happy. "Babe, if you want to get married in a Taco Bell parking lot, I'll do it." Madison blinked. "That was too fast. Have you imagined that before?" He coughed and changed the subject. Sabrina Sloan appeared again, like a badly written plot twist. Madison saw her at the bridal boutique. "Because of course." "Madison," Sabrina said, pretending to smile, "I'm surprised Ethan picked someone like you." Madison smiled sweetly. "Awa, don't be sad. Someone will pick you one day. Maybe, if they're desperate." Sabrina's eye twitched. "Ethan told me about your engagement," Sabrina said. "I just wanted to see it with my own eyes. You know, some things sound unbelievable." Madison shrugged. "Well, money can buy everything, except him choosing you." Ethan slid into the boutique at the exact perfect second. "Madison," he said, kissing her forehead, "did you pick a dress?" Sabrina looked like she swallowed a lemon whole. "Hi, Sabrina," Ethan added politely. "Please don't follow us, ever." Madison dragged him away before Sabrina combusted. Madison tried on a wedding dress. Ethan gasped. She frowned. "Are you okay? You're looking at me like I'm an alien." "No," he whispered. "I'm looking at you like you're my entire universe." She blushed so hard her ears turned pink. Then disaster. The zipper broke. Loudly. The boutique lady screamed, "The zipper!" Madison stood in shock. Ethan turned gently. "Don't move, you'll explode." "Why is this dress treating me like a grenade?" The staff panicked. Ethan tried not to laugh and failed. Madison glared. "Say one word, and I'll marry Damien instead." Ethan immediately stopped laughing. Damien Cade, the Silicon Valley Casanova, naturally inserted himself into the wedding planning. He arrived at Madison's office uninvited. "So," Damien said, "when is the bachelor party? Because I'd like to sponsor it with chaos." "No," Ethan said immediately. "Absolutely not." "Relax," Damien smirked. "I'm on Madison's side." "That's worse," Ethan hissed. Damien winked at Madison. "Don't worry. I'll make sure Ethan shows up to the wedding with eyebrows." Madison blinked. Why wouldn't he have eyebrows? Damien sighed dramatically. "Long story. The board, tequila, and a dare." Ethan shot him a deadly look. "Get out." Madison overheard Ethan's assistant talking. "Sir booked a presidential suite in Hawaii and a private island after." She panicked. She stormed into Ethan's office. "What is this? Why are you booking things without telling me? I don't even have a swimsuit." Ethan blinked. "You have time to buy one." "No, I don't. I'm emotionally allergic to shopping." Ethan stood, cupped her face gently. "I just wanted to surprise you." Her anger melted. "Oh. You do like it?" he asked softly. "No, I love it," she whispered. "Sorry, I'm just scared sometimes." "Of what?" "Being too happy," she said. "Feels like the universe is plotting." Ethan wrapped his arms around her. "Let it plot," he said. "I'll win." 3 days before the wedding, Ethan walked into Madison's apartment looking exhausted. "We have a problem." "Food poisoning." "No." "Kidnapping." "No." "Damien." Not this time. He pulled out a list. Your mom wants Adia traditions. My mother wants American traditions. The wedding planner has vanished. Sabrina wants to sing a song. Madison gasped. Over my dead body. And, he added painfully, your cousin wants to DJ. Madison dropped onto the couch. This wedding is cursed. Ethan sat next to her. I can cancel everything. We go to the courthouse, just us. She shook her head. No, we've come too far. I won't let other people hijack our moment. Ethan smiled softly. There's my Madison. She sighed. Fine, but Sabrina is banned. Already done. Sun. Flowers. Chaos. Beauty. Everything all at once. Madison walked down the aisle, holding her bouquet like a weapon. Ethan stood at the end, staring at her like she was the only thing that ever mattered. Madison wanted to cry. Laugh. Run to him. Roast him. All at once. When she reached him, he whispered, You look like trouble. She whispered back, You look like you'll pay for it. The guests giggled. The priest cleared his throat. Do you, Ethan Hale? I do, Ethan said immediately. Madison glared. Let him finish. Ethan smiled. I want to marry you faster. Everyone would. The vows were emotional. Ethan's voice shook. Madison, you are my peace and my chaos, my strength and my weakness. You made my life feel alive. Madison took a deep breath. Ethan, you're the only man I've ever met who can handle me, survive me, and still choose me every day. I love you, more than the sarcasm I was born with. Kevin from accounting sobbed loudly. They kissed. The crowd cheered. Sabrina was nowhere to be seen. Damien winked from the side and whispered to Madison. Don't worry, I didn't let her in. The cake almost fell. Madison caught it like a ninja. Ethan looked like he might faint. Her cousin, actually. He wasn't bad. Shockingly. Ethan danced stiffly. Madison roasted him publicly. He took it like a champ. Damien made a toast. To Madison and Ethan, the only couple who managed to make corporate emails look romantic. Ethan dragged him off the stage. As they left the reception, Madison looked at Ethan. Hey. Yes, wife. Thank you, she whispered. For what? For loving me, even when I'm chaos. Ethan pulled her close. You're not chaos, he said softly. You're home. And Madison knew. This wasn't the end. This was the beginning.